All right, guys, I'm here at Kroger on State Street, and I am gonna go in. I'm gonna teach you all about how to shop and how to be savvy so that you know what you're buying and what you're putting into your body. Let's go. So guys, when it comes to produce, you wanna stick to buying, you don't have to buy all organic. You stick to the clean 15 for the non-organic items, and you look up the 12 dirty dozen and try to buy organic with those 12. When buying lettuce or spinach or any greens, you want to try to stick with organic. So I always get the Simple Truth. That's the brand that I love. Guys, if you've never seen a spaghetti squash, this is what they look like. You can actually replace pasta with spaghetti squash. You just cut it in half and put it in the oven, roast it for about 30 minutes, and then it's done. And apples are definitely one of those that you want to try to stick to organic. Simple Truth, love it. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about cauliflower rice. You can make your own in a food processor, but I'm going to show you in the frozen aisle how you can make it even easier. You don't have to go through that step. This is a good example of the Clean 15. It has a thick peel, so you don't necessarily have to buy organic if you're trying to save some money. Okay guys, so you've probably heard that dates are really good to sweeten your food with, but let's just look on the back here and look at the nutrition label. Okay, so it's 2 dates equals 30 grams of sugar with only, we have to look at the fiber too. The fiber content is only 4 grams of fiber. So that is not a lot of grams of fiber for the amount of sugar that is in 2 of these bad boys. So any dried fruit, it just takes out a lot of the fiber. You want to eat whole fruit, not dried fruit. So here's all of the nuts. Well, these are at least the Simple Truth version. Let's look here at the pistachios. Not all nuts are created equal. These are made with just pistachios and sea salt. So good choice right there. Great choice. Let's look at the pecans. Ingredients: pecan halves. Okay, great. No added oils. That's what you want. Okay. But then let's see here. Let's look at these mixed nuts. Okay. If you were to just buy, oh, it's Simple Truth and they're nuts. Like, what could be bad about that? Well, let's look at the ingredients list. Where is that on here? Okay, you guys see how many ingredients are there? Cashews, almonds, pecans, Brazilian nuts, that's fine. But then they add vegetable oil to it, guys. Vegetable oil is like liquid cancer. Stay away from canola oil and vegetable oil and hydrogenated oils, okay? So this would not be a good option. Let's look at the roasted almonds. Almonds and vegetable oil, guys, stay away from those. Let's look at the cashews, roasted cashews. They always put the ingredients in a different spot. Organic cashews, canola oil. Guys, this is a big no. So stick to the things that are just the nut itself, no oils. Normally, actually, when it says sea salt, they actually have to add an oil to it for the salt to stick. So try to stick to the unsalted if you can. Okay, so we're at the bulk section, and a lot of these items are a big no-no, but some of the items are really good, and you can actually get it for cheaper since it's in bulk. So we're gonna look at these walnuts, and it does list the ingredients here. So walnuts, sugar, nope, I would stay away from that since it has added sugar to it. Let's see, these pistachios, let's look at the ingredients. Dry roasted pistachios and garlic powder and sea salt. Okay, those would be yes. Let's see, peanuts. Dry roasted peanuts. And it only contains peanuts, so good. But let's see, the honey roasted cashews, I think you can guess. These obviously have honey in them. If you are trying to watch your sugar content, don't get that. Plus, look what it's sweetened with, guys. Corn syrup. Please stay away from anything that says high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. It's liquid diabetes. All right, so here's the bread aisle. I personally do not eat bread. But if you choose to, let's look at this white enriched bread, just the Kroger brand. Let's look at the ingredients first and foremost. Enriched flour. And to tell you the honest truth, guys, white bread versus whole wheat bread is only 2 grams higher in the glycemic index. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose, but I will give you a healthier option. This one has high fructose corn syrup. So this is definitely a big fat no. Although this white bread, Simple Truth Organic, is a better option, and I'll show you why. The ingredients, still white bread, but it doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup. And it does have a little bit of cane sugar, but we look up here at the sugar content and it's only 1 gram. So if you have to have bread, choose something like this, or I'll show you when we get to the freezer section, Ezekiel bread that is made from sprouted grains. That would be a healthier option. Make sure you stay away from anything that is like honey wheat. Like people think, oh, it's wheat, so it's healthy. No, it's sweetened with sugar or high fructose corn syrup. So don't fall for that trick. Here's a great example. This looks pretty healthy. Like it caught my attention. It said, oh, perfectly crafted multigrain bread. Okay, let's see. And it says non-GMO. But guys, look at how many ingredients are in that. I mean, why would you want to put something that's that highly processed in your body? I mean, most of that I can't even pronounce at the bottom. So I would stay away from this one. Now I told you that I was going to give you a healthier option with breads. This is Ezekiel bread, and you can find this in the freezer section. I believe it's in the organic maybe section, the healthier section in the freezer section of Kroger. And this is made from sprouted grains. So it is healthier, not the healthiest, but it is healthier than flour bread. And then they also have tortillas as well, made from sprouted grains. Tortillas. Guys, all of these are just not really healthy options. Whole wheat, white flour, corn tortillas, whatever it is. Try to go to Rainbow Blossom or Whole Foods and get yourself some coconut wraps or some almond flour wraps. Those are going to be much better options, but they don't have them at Kroger here. Guys, a lot of people fall for this. This is a spinach wrap, okay? Looks healthy, right? But then we look at the ingredients, and I can find yellow 1, or yellow 5 actually, and blue 1. So those are artificial colors that are linked to cancer. And then also we see vegetable shortening too, guys, and hydrogenated oils. So stay away from these. Okay, so there are so many different options with mayonnaise. What do you choose? My eyes were drawn to this because it's made with avocado oil, which I know avocado oil is very healthy for you. But then you look in the ingredients and I see canola and soybean oil. Guys, those are not healthy oils, so I would stay away from this type. My personal favorite with mayo is the Primal Kitchen kind. It's made with avocado oil, and it even says on the label, sugar-free, soy and canola-free, dairy-free, gluten and grain-free. And if we look on the ingredients, which is where? Ingredients: avocado oil, eggs, egg yolks, vinegar, sea salt, and rosemary extract. So this is my favorite of all time. They also have a chipotle lime mayo, which is really yummy. And then they have the garlic aioli as well. But guys, just because it's Primal Kitchen, I still have to look at the back of the ingredients. Always look at ingredients. Even if you think that the maker is a good brand, always look at the ingredients. Okay, so salad dressing. We picked this up. It's organic. Looks healthy, right? Let's look at the ingredients. Soybean oil. And then, let's see, has a whole bunch of spices in it. Sugars are 1 gram, which is good, but I would stay away from the soybean oil. So a different option that is healthier would be the Primal Kitchen Ranch, made with avocado oil. I love this one. Again, Primal Kitchen makes great products. Sugar-free, soy and canola-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, and grain-free. So this would be a better option. This one is sugar-free, although the honey mustard one, obviously since it's honey mustard, it does have some honey in it. So it does have a little bit of sugar, but not too much. They also have other flavors like the Greek, which I love as well, which is sugar-free. I want to show you the all-famous Olive Garden Italian dressing and just let you look at the ingredients on here. Okay, so it says total sugar is only 2 grams. Okay, but there's soybean oil in it, high fructose corn syrup. Guys, it's just not good news. I'm not sure why anybody would eat Velveeta. I think it's disgusting. But guys, it's not even real cheese. It's got canola oil in it and whey protein concentrate. Like, what? Modified food starch. I mean, look at all of these ingredients. There's just nothing real about Velveeta. Okay, so we're in the pasta aisle, and I just want to show you how many grams of sugar are in the traditional Prego. Total sugar is 9 grams, and that's for a half a cup. You probably eat more than a half a cup on your pasta. It also has canola oil in it as well. So there are definitely better options out there than this. 9 grams of sugar, that is a lot. I saw this, and this actually caught my attention. I haven't looked at it yet, but it says lower calorie. You're like, oh, okay, cool. So it's only 45 calories instead of 70. But let's see what's in the sugar content. It's 8 grams. Okay, well that's only 1 gram less than the other. Well, and at least they don't have all of the ingredients that were in the other one. So, but like I said, it's only 1 gram lower in sugar. So not really sure how they can do that. Okay, so the healthier option is over here at the very end. At the bottom, I like to get Jersey's Tomatoes marinara sauce because it only has 3 grams of sugar. I like that so much better. And the ingredients are clean. And I want to show you guys an example of something. This says Simple Truth Organic. You think, oh, it's organic. It's probably healthy. Although I do love Simple Truth most of the time. This one has 7 grams of sugar, which is still better than the 9 grams, but still too much. And then this one has soybean oil in it. And it's also sweetened with cane sugar. I mean, cane sugar is still better than high fructose corn syrup, but still, way too many ingredients on that list for me and too much sugar. And people always ask me, is whole wheat pasta better than white pasta? Guys, it's pretty much the same. Like I said with the bread, whole wheat bread or whole wheat pasta is only 2 grams lower in the glycemic, or 2 points lower in the glycemic index. So it's all gonna spike your insulin. It leads to inflammation in the body. So if it were up to me, I would just cut out all grains. But if you have to have grains, I guess I'd go with either the sprouted grains or whole wheat. Okay, so meats. These are all full of a bunch of hormones and preservatives and nitrates and all of that good stuff. So I normally shop in this tiny section right here, the organic section. So I normally go for Simple Truth. If I'm going for chicken, I'll do the Simple Truth chicken. They've got lots of different options, chicken thighs or chicken tenders. They have whole chickens right here. You can actually do a whole chicken and then make chicken stock from the leftover bones later. And then there is organic ground beef. I love to get this grass-fed organic beef. Make sure that if you're getting beef, that you make sure that it is grass-fed, okay, not grain-fed. And you see here that it says no antibiotics ever and no hormones. That's super important, guys. You don't want animals that have been given antibiotics, and you do not want hormones in your milk or your meat. And if you're trying to stay heart healthy, you don't necessarily always have to go for the lean meats. You can go for the red meats. It's actually sugar and grains that is making your cholesterol or your blood pressure go up. It is not the type of red meat that you're eating. Normally when you're looking at fish to buy, you want to stay away from the farm raised because they are fed with grains, and the grains are normally GMO. You want to stick with wild caught as much as possible. So I saw these crab cakes and I thought this was interesting. Wanted to look at the ingredients here. Everybody loves crab cakes, right? Oh my gosh, look at those ingredients, guys. Most of which I can't even pronounce the ingredients. Ugh, definitely not buy that. Like I said, stay away from farm-raised salmon. This one is probably a pretty good choice, although when buying salmon, always try to look for Alaskan wild-caught salmon. It's the best. Guys, chicken is one of those things that I am definitely a stickler for sticking to organic with no antibiotics and no hormones. They let the chickens get so big that they just lay in their own feces, and it's disgusting what they do to chicken houses. But guys, just stay away from anything that doesn't say hormone-free, antibiotic-free, non-organic, all of that jazz. A lot of these meats that are like prepackaged are not too healthy, but I do love this brand, The Simple Truth. Chicken strips, they also have fajita strips that I love, but in the ingredients list, it's really clean, so I love this brand. Lunchables are just highly processed, not real food, not whole food. Just make your own Lunchables at home. Super easy. You can get the ingredients at the store and just make them in the little Tupperware dishes that Ziploc makes. When buying deli meat, you always want to make sure that you are getting nitrate free. I love this brand. It's Applegate and it's organic. No antibiotics, and it is nitrate free. You always want to make sure that your bacon and your deli meats are always nitrate free. I know that you've been told that turkey bacon is a lot heart healthier than regular bacon, but I'm here to tell you that turkey bacon is not natural. It is highly processed to make it quote unquote bacon. I stay away from turkey bacon. To be careful about sugar being added to your bacon. You always want to make sure on the back that it says 0 grams of sugar. So you've been told that yogurt is healthy for you, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that 99% of the time, that's not the case because of all the sugar added to yogurt to make it taste good. This one has 9 grams of sugar for this full container. Let's see, another one would be, let's do Chobani. That's normally a good brand that people like to buy. They think it's healthier. Let's see, where's the sugar content? Sugar's 12 grams, guys. That's even more. That's crazy. Let me pick up one of these Greek yogurts. Light and fit. Only 80 calories. Let's look at the sugars. 7 grams. This is the type of yogurt that I would get if I had to eat yogurt. And a lot of people would be like, ew, gag, plain yogurt, gross. Well, you can add fruit to it, a little bit of honey, a little bit of stevia. Guys, here's some stevia in the raw. This is a great option and a great substitute for sugar. It is not artificial. It's natural. It's from the stevia leaf. But anyway, if you want to do yogurt, I would suggest that you do either plain yogurt or plain Greek yogurt. But still, you can look on the back here and you see that it is 16 grams of sugar per cup. Now that is natural sugars from the dairy itself, but lactose and dairy are just high in sugars. I want to talk about eggs real quick. I know that there are lots of different options when it comes to eggs. There's conventionally raised eggs, there's cage-free eggs, and there's pasture-raised. Guys, just because they're cage-free doesn't mean that they are pasture-raised. Cage-free means that there is a door open somewhere in the chicken coop or chicken house, and that there is air coming in, but that doesn't mean that they are able to actually walk out into the pasture and eat from the pasture. So make sure you are always getting pasture raised. So halfway through the grocery store, my phone died. So I'm just going to show you some things that I bought versus some things that I found in my pantry for the kids. And I'm slowly trying to wean them off of the processed foods as well. So when it comes to dairy, you are going to want to buy whole, okay? And I know that you're scared of fat. We've all been told that fat is bad, fat will raise your cholesterol, and fat will make you gain weight. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. If you are going to get the benefits of dairy, which if you are really wanting to be 100% healthy, I would actually choose something like coconut milk or almond milk or cashew milk. But if you're going to do dairy, always make sure you are getting whole milk that has the nutrients with it. When you get 1% or 2% milk or non-fat milk, it just takes out all of the nutrition of the dairy. You might as well not even be drinking it. You're not getting the full benefits of the milk. So make sure that it's whole milk. I love that this is lactose free, because lactose, actually, we were not meant to be able to digest lactose after the age of 3. And so what lactose does is sometimes it'll make you bloat, or it'll make you have digestive issues. Sometimes it leads to breakouts in acne or skin issues, and people don't even realize that. So actually cut out milk from your diet for about 6 weeks, see how you feel, and then reintroduce it. And if your skin has cleared up and your digestive issues have gone away, you probably have an intolerance to dairy and you didn't even know it. So I always do the coconut milk or the almond milk, sometimes cashew milk, and I always get the unsweet. Okay, guys, we want the least amount of sugars possible. So when you're getting those other types of milks, make sure they are always unsweet. The originals and the sweetened, those just have way too many sugars, okay? I want to compare these two. Now, this is a good option because it's made from almond milk, not dairy milk. But let's look at the sugar content. It's 5 grams per tablespoon. I've seen worse. But if you want to make sure that you're cutting down and cutting back on your sugars, I would actually go with this. This is my favorite. It's Nut Pod Creamer. It's made from nuts, and it has 0 sugars. And just to give my coffee a little bit more creaminess, I add this. Moving on to cereals. If you guys saw my post from the other day on my actual Facebook page, I talk about the differences between Cheerios and organic cereal. This one is higher in sugar. It has 7 grams per serving. Plus, it's made with corn, which is a GMO. And then this one only has 1 gram of sugar, and it has a little less ingredients. I'm not saying that either one of these are healthy, because processed foods and boxed foods are not healthy. They're not whole foods. But if I had to choose between these two, I would choose the Cheerios. You gotta read labels, guys. I always buy this peanut butter. Now, me personally, I try to stay away from peanut butter. Peanut butter actually is an inflammatory food, or peanuts are actually. So I actually do almond butter instead. But I know it's super hard for people to give up peanut butter. It was hard for me, but now I am addicted to almond butter. But again, this is the classic. It's not the sweetened, it's not the maple, it's not the chocolate. It has 1 gram of sugar, which is natural. It comes from the almond itself, and it's got all clean ingredients. Moving on to crackers. Okay, so we're gonna look at these wheat thins, all right, and we're gonna look at the ingredients. Canola oil, and it has some sort of refiner's syrup. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna be a little bit leery of that. And it has 5 grams of sugar per serving, which 16 pieces equals a serving. Not the best option. So I would actually go for this almond flour cracker. And let's look at the ingredients. Cassava flour, sunflower oil, which is okay. You can have some amount of sunflower oil. Sea salt, and yeah, those are pretty clean ingredients. I'm not so sure about the tapioca starch, but seriously, this is definitely a better option than this. Chips. You guys, if you've seen a bag of Cheetos or a bag of Doritos or whatever, I mean, it is so chock full of a whole bunch of ingredients that you can't even pronounce. These, it only has a few ingredients. So, and sunflower oil instead of canola oil or vegetable oil. That's the biggest thing with chips, guys, is that they use canola and vegetable oil all the time with chips. You want to stay away from those types of ingredients. So these were actually a really good find. Pancake mix. This is the pancake mix that I get, but I actually love to get this kind. You can find this at Rainbow Blossom or I'm sure Whole Foods. It's actually made from almond flour instead of wheat flour. Wheat flour is very highly processed, and it contains a whole bunch of carbs, and it's very inflammatory. So if you do almond flour instead, that's not going to spike your blood sugar. It's going to be anti-inflammatory, and they taste really good. These are amazing. Let's look at the sugar content. There is a little bit of sugars. There's 4 grams of sugar, but that comes from coconut sugar instead of cane sugar, which if I had to choose between those sugars, I would definitely choose coconut sugar. Which brings me to my next ingredient. Almond flour or coconut flour are always better substitutes for enriched flour or wheat flour, okay? It's not gonna spike your blood sugar, it's not gonna increase your insulin, and it's not going to cause inflammation in the body. So I always bake with almond flour or coconut flour. When it comes to fish, guys, especially tuna, you always want to make sure that you're getting something that doesn't have high amounts of mercury in it, okay? So this is actually a brand that I trust, Wild Planet, and it is wild caught, and it's skipjack, okay? So make sure you're always researching. It's not going to say it on the can, but research the types of foods and products that have the least amount of mercury when it comes to seafood. Guys, I could talk about butters forever. Okay, there are so many different types of butters. There's vegan butter, there's margarine, there's real butter, there's Kerrygold butter, there's ghee. Guys, all of those different butters are just, they have canola oil in them or vegetable oil, or they're just really highly processed. You want to make sure that you're getting your butter from a grass-fed cow. That's what I love about Kerrygold butter. Or you can get something that is clarified butter, and it's called ghee. And this stuff has like a nutty flavor. It is so good and is so good for you. You can actually blend it in with your coffee as well and make your own bulletproof coffee.